My name's John Richards. Happy Tuesday. Today I want to share something with you that I've actually talked about on other blogs, but I really didn't go into it with that much detail, and today I really do. In fact, I got some notes here that I want to kind of go through. That's how big a deal this is. You know, one of the things I started doing, a few years back that really changed things for me, and I'm like everybody else, it's visualization came through, first of all, reading Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I read that, and then I watched The Secret and got very motivated by that and the Law of Attraction and all that, and read a couple of John Azarev's books and realized what the power of visualization really is and the power of meditation. But I'm going to really make this more about visualization and go through a process. And then something that I've realized actually heard over the last couple of days from a reliable source. Actually I bought a visualization course about a year or so ago and got to know the guy that owned the company really well. And he shared something with me a couple of days ago, and I'll share that with you here in just a few minutes. But the first thing you need to do when you start visualizing is you need to make sure you have a written vision for your life. And a vision is something that you write that's in a present positive tense of what your life's going to look like in the future. Now, I like to do mine a year at a time. I don't like to go out 2 years and 3 years and 5 years, and some people go 20 years. I like to do mine a year at a time. And then what I do is I identify some key goals from that. Okay, so it's probably maybe a money goal if it's a business, or a relationship goal or spiritual goal, whatever it is. And then what I like to do is I write out that vision very clearly, and whatever the goal is, and then I make sure, like I said, it's in present positive tense, and I also write down what emotions I want to feel with this vision when I'm visualizing. Because if you're not emotionally attached to this vision, if you don't get your emotions into it in a big way, you don't have as much impact. So what I do is I make sure every morning, it's the first thing I do. I sit down in a very comfortable place in my home here. I do it on my sofa. I sit down and I get up before anybody else does. And the first thing I do is I meditate for 15 minutes. And I showed you on a previous blog post on how to meditate. So I make sure I meditate for 15 minutes because that slows your brain down. And then the thing that I realized a couple days ago that this guy shared with me was, I was visualizing sometimes for a minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever it is, and I'd heard sometimes, visualize for 68 seconds. I really wasn't sure. I was just visualizing, and I was still having some results. But a gentleman shared with me a couple days ago that there's been recent studies done that you need to visualize a minimum of 7 minutes. Now, whether you visualize one goal, whether you visualize 3 goals, in my case I usually have 3 goals for the year, or whether you visualize 10 goals, or what your life actually looks like, whatever it is, you need to do that for 7 minutes. That will start changing your brain over 21 days. So you need to really do this every single day. This is not something you do today, the next week, and a couple weeks. You got to do it every single day for this to really impact you and for you to get results. So you visualize for 7 minutes, and basically what I do is I put myself in the picture. So if it's a money goal, I see myself taking the checks to the bank. I see what kind of life I have with the money, or whatever it is. If I bought a new car, I see that. And you got to see it very clearly, but you got to really get yourself into it emotionally. You got to feel the emotions of that very strongly, and what that makes you feel like, because that's the important part about this. If you're not emotionally attached to that vision, it may not be important to you. It's got to be that important. Now, if you do this every single day, you're going to have physical changes start to happen. And what visualization is, it's not some magic thing. I can't visualize that I'm going to make $100,000 and all of a sudden, poof, it's here on my desk. What it does, it creates ideals and open up opportunities and gives you action steps. One of the things The Secret didn't show you was you have to take action. So you can't just, sit and visualize your way to success. It won't happen that way. But visualization will give you ideals. So you need to be prepared. What I do is I keep notebooks around, and I'm always writing ideals down. So for the last 2 days, what I've been doing a little differently, because like I said, this friend shared with me, is visualize for a full 7 minutes, and I've already had amazing results. 2 of my goals, I've made extreme progress in the last 2 days. It's pretty amazing. And it's just that 7 minutes a day. And plus, I'm very at peace. I feel a lot better. So try visualizing for 7 minutes a day. Like I said, start out with a short meditation. Maybe start out 5 to 7 minutes and work your way up. And then visualize. Make sure you write out a plan. Don't just sit there and visualize, whatever comes to mind. Plan it out. I make sure I plan it out. I actually write the emotions I want to feel, and then I do that every single day. And 7 minutes a day can change your life. Start doing that today. Talk to you soon.